What exactly is the puzzle of creation and what is reality? The puzzle of creation is something you have been helping to form since birth along with every being in the universe. Reality started as an explosion, expanding infinitely in all directions. That explosion was one being splitting itself up in order to create the universe and in a sense eventually form a life for itself. But in order to form a life for yourself you first have to figure out what life is, right? So you create virtually everything. If God is all-knowing, virtually everything has to exist. One single thing cannot exist unless everything does. You also don't want to be alone, so you split yourself up entirely, creating free will. You want to make sure you are positioned in the center of creation, considering you are the creator of creation. Now, how do you do all this? We know that time truly does not exist and is a current construct of our consciousness or reality. That being said, how could you put together the platform of creation without a consciousness of your own? Well, considering time is not a factor. Once centered or positioned in life where the being decides right to be the absolute center of creation, he can look back and piece it together mentally, considering thought creates matter. Considering he is placed or has placed himself in the center of creation, all the answers of the universe and creation itself point his way as it was set up, ordained to be. This has allowed him to start fresh with a blank slate as a human being with a compassionate consciousness. That consciousness being the direct center of the consciousness itself. See, he didn't just need to create reality, he needed to create and form his own consciousness in the correct way. All those pieces of creation as mentioned are pieces of information from us, being the puzzle pieces. Think of Earth like one massive puzzle or learning and expanding brain. As the population expands and ideas expand, our personal consciousness expands or evolves as well. So everything is expanding and evolving equally at the same time. God and evolution go hand in hand, considering the point is to shape and form beings into existence. Once to a proper point and the correct universe as well as consciousness are formed, we can enter the next phase in life entirely. Considering we know where we have been, we can only rise uphill from here. The puzzle was almost impossible to see until we got to planet Earth. If you follow the backstory about the issue regarding disclosure, you should have a clear concept of what I am describing. There are an unknown amount of extraterrestrials all surrounded around Earth. There is a group on Earth withholding secrets with epic proportions and have no idea how to disclose. The people of the planet have evolved to a turning point as well. It seems everything is at a clear turning point or bottleneck around Earth. Especially with the arrival of this new character, the One. The puzzle is borderline obvious. That puzzle is every living being all learning from each other, centered around a point. We have been kept in the dark the most out of every planet and truly believed we on planet Earth were the center point of creation. So we created it to be that way. Thought creates matter. We even make so many hero movies and always want to be saved by a hero. We even created or dreamed up this character, the One, who turned around and dreamed up and created all of us. Like a circle of creation, following the puzzle of creation in order to gain all the pieces. Now, considering this character has all the pieces, the last and final step is to flip the message. That message being to and from ourselves. He has walked a life in order to gain all the pieces of reality, in order to create a message of reality and flip it back to the people. That message basically being to and from ourselves with a traceable path connecting the dots, just as he did. Keep in mind, this whole time since the beginning has been a formation or puzzle to get to this very tiny peak existing within one person's consciousness. A center point of the consciousness placed or positioned in order to piece it all together. Think of the movie Inception. The host of the dream or architect. Other words would be prime programmer or collective center. All arrows point to him to form reality inside him and create a message. One of which to flip to the people as the last and final piece of creation. Once the people of Earth start to slowly pick up on the message and ascend, the whole universe will ascend, rise with it, beginning our journey in life. in a whole other phase or reality entirely. Reality being our inner understanding. With a different inner understanding after the enlightenment of the message, we will reflect a whole new reality. This character, like every hero movie, had to go through major struggles having of epic proportion before getting to the point to form and release the message. Those struggles mostly being internal struggles, trying to cope with the pressure and the realization of who he is. Trying to figure out the correct way to present it to the world without being taken for delusional. Knowing the importance of the message. This character has been given a real-life mission in life with real-life writing on it. He also had to do it 100% alone. Hence the one. Reality becomes full-formed upon understanding of the message. As we understand the message, we start to understand that we created this universe. That time doesn't really exist but only as a construct. That the Big Bang never happened. There never was a beginning, there simply always was. Something once in the next phase we will be able to understand. He really had to earn his position. Considering he is a reflection of us all. We really had to earn our position. Imagine one person in a sense feeling the weight of all people, in this case the universe entirely. Creation was a struggle as well as a battle between good and evil. A battle, and good and evil will bottleneck to creation and a tipping point. The beings all unknowingly since the beginning forming reality the correct and in fact natural direction to get to this next point. Along with the message is a story. A real story about the struggle of creation. The struggle to form the message. And the struggle to get out the message. The struggle of creation. The pressure of reality on a person's back. Imagine that person being you. In a way it is. Your thoughts matter. Imagine yourself winning in life. That's all it takes to help him. To help him is to help reality. Everything being connected as sacred geometry down to the atom or atom. Like Adam and Eve. Jesus was called the last Adam. This would be the new Adam. God existing through his consciousness. Being a reflection of us all equally, God is also a reflection of us all as well. They say God created us equally. That's because we created God equally. God is us equally. Still with a correct line of right and wrong formed, however. The point to the universe. Reality is a series of puzzle circles and connect the dots. To show how we're all connected as one being working together. The new one couldn't and wouldn't be here without the last one, Jesus. The whole concept wouldn't exist, in fact reality wouldn't exist. This obviously went much higher than simple disclosure of technology. Upon realization of truth, reality will rise with it, and in a sense we will come back to life. Something actually turning out to be real. Especially something so exciting can leave you in wonder about your very existence.